Lindsay.
And this is the Game Forum.
This is our first episode on Exclusivity. But before we get to that, these are the games we're playing this week.
Yeah, you would start off with what you're playing?
Sure. I've been playing Tropico 6, Borderlands 3, and I've been trying the Red Dead Online mode.
Cool. I've also been playing Red Dead Online, some Borderlands 3, and then I've been playing a little bit of Greedfall. Just kind of started that game. It's a brand new game. Really enjoy it, though.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and jump into the episode.
All right, so the first game we're going to talk about is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Came out in November 2015 for Xbox 360 and Xbox One. It was primarily funded by Microsoft, which kind of gave them the exclusivity for at least a year. It came out about a year later, October of 2016 for the PlayStation 4. The good side of that is that it came with bug fixes, it came with the patches, it came with a bunch of expansions that were pretty much for free for the base of the game. It also came with an exclusive PlayStation VR mode, which was pretty cool. But that's a good example of some good terms and some bad terms when it comes to exclusivity, when it comes to video games.
Another recent exclusive has been Borderlands 3. Borderlands 1 and 2 had been released on Steam for the PC. Borderlands 3 switched and went to the Epic Store exclusively. I understand Epic is trying to grow their brand and grow their store and try and pull some people away from Steam, but this made a lot of people upset who'd played the other two on Steam, having to switch which platform they had to purchase it through. So a lot of this stuff can also throw some people some curveballs.
Yep. Also a game, Metro Exodus. It was originally out on Steam, or at least you could pre-order it on Steam. And then they kind of pulled it, moved it to the Epic Game Store, which was a crappy move. A lot of people were upset about that. But it cost $10 less on the Epic Store. And so it's like a give and take when it comes to being exclusive to a platform. And also another game, Shenmue III, it was kickstarted. They were promising Steam keys for Kickstarter backers. And then I think recently as this year, they came out and said that it's coming out exclusively to the Epic Game Store, at least for a year. And so it wouldn't come to, the backers wouldn't get their keys until a year later. And now there was some backlash about that. I believe Steam or the developers of Shenmue 3 were coming out saying that they wouldn't refund for the keys, they wouldn't refund for the Backstarter or the Kickstarter, and then Epic actually came out and was like, "Well, hey, we'll cover it." So they're covering all the refunds, or at least for the people that want them. So that was it's also a good and bad, and when it comes to something being exclusive.
Another more recent one has been the Spec Ops survival mode in the new Call of Duty. People are essentially going to end up paying the same amount on Xbox and PlayStation, but PlayStation has a survival mode that'll be an exclusive for 1 year, which will pretty much mean that PlayStation gets to play it until about the next time the next Call of Duty comes out, which a lot of people were very upset about, because a lot of the survival mode stuff is pretty much the zombies mode, since this one won't have a zombies mode in it.
Yeah.
So that can be understandable why a lot of people would be really upset for that one.
Yep. So I guess a little question that we brought up is exclusivity being used as a ploy to get early pre-orders, to get people kind of in the door before they even know what they're getting. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
I definitely think, I understand some of the aspects of exclusivity, the Epic Store. They're a much smaller platform than Steam. They're trying to get the ball rolling on getting people to switch to their platform. You look at Xbox and PlayStation. I understand, PlayStation signed a deal with Activision to try and lure people away from Xbox.
Yeah.
And Activision had gone out and said, they're going to be putting out all their content for this next Call of Duty, their maps and stuff, for free. So it's going to be really hard for what they could throw PlayStation, because otherwise it'd be in a breach of contract, which would cost them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So I get where Activision was going, but I think they really dropped the ball in their execution of this.
Yeah, it could have been handled differently. for all we know, it could have been like millions of dollars on the table that were like, well, they signed a contract 5 years ago, so they don't really have a choice. It's not really Sony's fault. It's not really Activision's fault, but it's.
We have to live with the consequences.
Yeah. Well, Xbox players do.
Well, Xbox players have to live with the consequences.
Yeah. Either way, it's not fair. It's not fair that someone with a PlayStation is spending the same amount of money as someone with an Xbox, and they're getting less quality, less content. It's really unfortunate, but God, there's really nothing positive. I mean, I guess there's some positive when it comes to exclusivity.
I definitely think, like, maybe for some of the smaller games, like, if it would not be funded unless there was exclusivity involved, like, a game company is about to go out of business, they can't make it, and some big developer comes on and says, look, we'll help you finish your game and pay for everything if you are exclusive to our platform. I understand that 100%, and that makes sense. I agree with that. You help them make the game, you should have rights to the game. Yep. That makes sense. What's bad is when it's used in a corporate environment and they say we want to pull players away and hurt other players to make ourselves look better, and we're willing to shell out the money to do that.
Yep. On a positive side of that, when it comes to subscription services, let's say, like Game Pass, there may be a developer that's like, if we released this game out on its own, no one would have picked it up, no one would have played it. But now that it's on a subscription service, someone could be like, well, I'm already paying, $10 a month. Why not check this game out? And they could like it. They could find other ways to help fund the developer. They can, contribute whatever. So, like, there's multiple ways that something being exclusive to either a platform or a console could be positive. It's almost turning from like, oh, what's on PlayStation to what's on Xbox. It's turning into like, well, what does Xbox have on their subscription service? And if Xbox puts, Game Pass on the Switch, which is a rumor, I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. If that happens, then that changes the game. Game Pass is even on PC right now, which PC players can play Xbox games for $15 a month, which is insane.
And pretty soon, it seems like in that court case against Apple, that PlayStation and Xbox might have to allow other stores on their consoles as well. So it's definitely going to be an interesting future, but tell us what you guys think about exclusivity. Is it good? Is it bad? Give us some examples of both in the comments down below.
Yep, just let us know. Keep us informed. We'll talk to you guys, and we'll see you later. Once again, I'm Zach.
I'm Lindsay.
See you.
Bye.